I give thanks to Creator for the remarkable souls I'm blessed to walk beside. We come into each other's lives to inspire, encourage, and challenge, and most of all, we offer the tiniest glimpse of what immortal love is when we surrender our personal agendas to where Spirit takes us. It is not always easy. Sometimes it's freaking hard. But you climb that mountain, you launch off that cliff, you dare to launch your dream, because you were not put on this earth to be inconsequential. All the stars that died and became which you were born, all the feats of bravery and ingenuity that led your ancestors on a path of survival, conspired so that you, born of star dust and blood, tears and bone, might too learn how to shine. So you get off your ass and shout to the world your intentions. You fight for the rights you've been denied. You dream what your ancestors never dreamed possible. You do anything but curl up and be small. Life will hurt. Life will continue to give us all challenges. We think we can't bear another day, but it will also give you those remarkable moments so that you, child of stars, rain, and dirt, hope of generations past, can remember who and what you are. Dear soul, you were meant to shine.
I want to share that with all of you today because at the core of what we are doing in our lives is we're touching other people. Now, obviously today is about business. It's about making money. It's about trying to exert power. Because what you have to start doing first, why do you want to make money? Why do you want to have power? Money is for power. But power for what? Is it just to know that you have the power? But it's a power to do something. It's a power to affect something. It's a power to move something. It's a power to say, I'm going to travel here. I'm going to be able to possess this thing. Why? So that it can let me do what? Most people get so absorbed in their minds about, let me own, let me have. They pause, don't think about why. Who do you want to be in this world? Now, when I share these kind of thoughts, it goes back to when I was a child, and I remember being a little kid. My dad was a CEO, and he would bring home when I talked about stacks of homework. And I was nosy, and I would go in there, and I would look at his stuff, and there was one day he had a list of all these different countries. And on the other side, he had things from like 15 cents all the way up to $25. And I asked him, what is this? And he said, I've been assigned to look at this and choose someone that would do $7.25 to manufacture something. I was a kid, so I just said, well, why don't you look in there and just go, okay, they're asking for about 15 cents, or they're asking for $2.25, give them the approved $7.25, and then you make everybody happy. You make your shareholders happy, and you change some lives. And I just kind of skipped away. My dad came over, and he got on his knees, and he said to me, thank you for reminding me who I am in this world. And I didn't really think about that until years later. It's 1996. I was a teenager in my room, and my dad walked in, and he did two things. He just threw Alexis and the Olive Tree, a book by Thomas Friedman, and he said, everybody your age and younger should read this book, because this is the world you're going to inherit. And I'll tell you one thing else. I did what you told me to do when you were a kid. And they had built roads, they had built hospitals, they had built schools, and not a dime was charity. I share that with you today because every one of you in this room is either the CEO of a major corporation, or you're building one, or you're an employee, or you're trying to start something out and you're beginning your entrepreneurial journey. But becoming an entrepreneur is much, much more than getting power for yourself. Becoming an entrepreneur is learning that you affect lives. You make a decision. You want to manufacture something. You want to employ something. You want to try and cut down people's salaries, or you want to hire somebody. You want to choose this country or that country. Oh, this country gives you a lot more, but guess what? It's slave labor. This country is a little bit more, but you're still making a good profit, and you change lives. So when we talk about, like yesterday, a lot about consciousness and awareness, and we like to segment things, say this is one thing, and over here is our business. But that's not how you change the world. You have to pull them in together. And that is the power you possess. And as I like to share with everybody whenever I talk, is that every one of you right now, raise your hand if you have a cell phone. Pretty much everyone in this room has a cell phone. If you don't have your hand up there, I do not believe you. So guess what you have in that cell phone? You have information to more things that kings and queens and presidents and vice presidents have ever had before you in this era of time. You have access to data, you have access to immediate knowledge, you have the ability to project your voice. There is a wonderful woman up here that was walking around here, the power of women pointing at it, and I have to take my hat off to you because guess what? You're absolutely right, but guess what that power means? Owning that power means that you choose what your voice is going to be in this world. Owning that power means that you do not have to limit yourself by what was in the past. But that's where we get kind of stuck. We get mired in what has been, and we kind of proceed with the way our grandmothers did it because that's what the long things that we were told you can't get out of the box. And the truth is, we can move, we can do all sorts of things in this world, but it starts in the mind. And power, what you're about to learn, Marie Cosgrove, an amazing woman, is going to come after me, and she's going to talk to you about building your empire, making great wealth. But what I want you to hold in your hearts as you listen to her and others today, they're telling you about making money and how to increase your power, is owning your power. Remember what your power is. Your power is the means by which you change this world. Your power is what you wake up and do each morning. Your power is if you buy from this person, you support change. If you buy from that person, you support slavery. Your power is if you turn on this channel, you get back data that says you support one idea. You turn on that channel, you get back data, you support that idea. Your power is in how you vote. Your power is in how you dress. Your power is in how you interact with people. Your power is that when somebody says something against someone that's racist, or that someone that's misogynistic, or homophobic, or Islamophobic, or anti-Semitic, that you don't stand there and be quiet because it's too polite. Your power is saying, guess what? I actually do care about that, and I take offense to that. This is a human being. Your power is not looking away. Your power is saying, I'm going to be part of this world as a woman who actually has a voice because thousands, millions of women lived before me and did not own them. And I'm going to share with you two stories. When I was a kid, I was so scared because I was brought up in a world that was mostly all white, very powerful families. Here I was, a little brown-skinned kid. Kids would look at me and say, ooh, don't let her touch your towel when you go swimming because she's brown-skinned, not because she doesn't bathe. It wasn't until they learned about melanin things changed. That's the difference. Power is knowledge. Your power is in your mind. You know how many women fought and even died so you can have that knowledge? What are you going to do with that? Every single one of you is sitting here with possibilities your grandmother, great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother could never have even dreamed. You have so much freedom. Who do you want to be, and how do you want to shift this world? That is the question. And if you're not asking ourselves that, then we are not taking upon ourselves responsibility. Because power, people look at it as power over something. I'm talking about power within yourself. The power within yourself transforms this world. The other story I'm going to share with you is an amazing story of a friend of mine, Emmanuel Jal. Emmanuel was a young man who had been started off as a child. He was basically stolen out of his bedroom at 4 years old. And he was taken and forced to work in a camp with children that were turned into child soldiers. They put drugs in that food so that he would be addicted to that food. And other children started killing each other to eat because they were starving. And he prayed to God, give me a chance to not do that and not let me succumb to that. Give me the power over myself to not do that, and I will dedicate my life to changing this world. And he did that. And he's sitting in this audience right here, right now, and he has helped 15,000 Sudanese refugees escape from the war zone. That is only your power. It has no comparison whatsoever. But when I was a child, I was born in a very impoverished situation, adopted into a family, and given an incredible opportunity of education. I should be able to speak to you. If I spoke to you the way I hear, and you said, how are you today? I'm just hearing, Now I've spoken in the White House, I've spoken in the House of Lords, and I have an initiative at the Ministry Institute that has done work all around the world. This You know, they will say $55 million worth of food are going into landfills and getting it to hungry people across the United States, all the way to Ukraine. We are doing amazing things. But you know how that also happened? It wasn't by hoarding my power, it was by lifting other people up. Because other people around me came up with ideas and I supported them. I didn't try to own it. As I got powerful, I helped other people get powerful, own their voice. And when I helped more leaders around me, we made change happen. And that's what I'm going to challenge each of you today to do. Don't just come in and say, I'm creating my own empire for myself. Go in there and say, how am I affecting this world and taking my responsibility in it? And how am I going to shift things so that when I look back and I'm tomorrow's ancestor, they will be talking about me and using my story to inspire change that I can't even dream of right now. So what is your power? Own your power. And if you're sitting here thinking, I'm not powerful, I want you to think about the fact that I'm up here speaking to you, and that was because someone put a rubber glove in my mouth that said, you will speak, and my tongue learned choreography, even when I can't hear it. I want you to think about the fact that Emmanuel has made this difference in this world. And if we can do that, you can do that. Emmanuel, please come on up. So, Emmanuel, enjoy it. Everybody is and we're going to share with you a song about owning your power.
Thank you. Thank you. Probably my second time watching Mary Ann speak. Every time she speaks, she takes my mind to imagination where I visit a different world and motivated to move on. So maybe she didn't announce, but recently I told her this is what we're doing. And she said, what is that? Count me in. So she just hired 2 buses to make people escape from a war area now. So today or tomorrow, over 150 families would go to safety. And so let's give her a big hand. She didn't announce it. So, do you guys mind if you stand up with me? You know, so there's all types of power. There's emotional power, there's mental power, there's social power, there's financial power, you know. So there's spiritual power. So when you're spiritually powerful, you'll have joy and peace of mind. Is that right?
Yeah.
So it depends. Some of them have financial power, but they're emotionally poor and spiritually poor. So they have so much money, but they're stressed. Is that true? So let me see. I throw my hands in the air.
Yeah.
I salute if you can. So let me see your power sign, everybody. Let me see your power sign. You know, each one of us has power to transform their life, their neighborhood, their community. As a kid, all I had was imagining myself and being part of a solution. You know, I left home at the age of 7. You know, 1 year later at camp, I had an AK-47 in my hand. And so, and here I am today. Why am I here? It's because of individual people who put their power together. So one thing I want to share with you is, as a leader, as we move forward, I want to give you one big secret. When we detach our emotion from our suffering, from our pain, we see the value it gives us. And suffering is essential for our growth. When we don't find a meaning in the suffering, we exist to suffer. So if you know a friend that is whining about the same situation, just I'm going to have you found a meaning. When a person finds a meaning of their situation, what happens? New power is released. So we're going to do a song called My Power. And when I want to teach you, say, I throw my hands in the air. You throw your hands and say, I salute if you can. We say I 16 times. Yeah, can we do that?
I.
So I want some few volunteers to join and say, this one is amazing.
Thank you.
I want to love a good time. Madam, join us. So let's party. Let's have a good time. Let's kick it off. Yeah? So let me see your power sign. This is my power. I speak truth to power. A line from the sign. My world got me nine. My life I run on free singles. You block my way to burn. Here you are. You from my life, you take my mind, I tell you all the time. fire, I'm on fire. Better than pepper, my desire. Better than two left is the lie. I take my right demon high. I throw my hands in the air. I salute if you can. I throw my hands in the air. I salute if you can. This is my house. This is my house. House, house, my house, house. This is my house. This is my house. No time to try what's up in the good. The orgasm on the tongue, trying to touch the lip. Two girls who do your jumping in the street. Chill with me and your girl, like a button. So you like the way it's like a shit. She knows I've never seen crazy. Outside, can't see the coexist. We know this, it's a kid that we don't miss. We know this, it's a kid that we don't miss. I throw my hands in the air, I salute if you can. I throw my hands in the air, I salute if you can. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. All right, let me see your power side. Big team, everybody! My house, house. This is my house. This is my house. House, house. My house, house. This is my house. This is my house. House, house, house. This is my house. This is my house. House, house. My house, house. This is my house. This is my house. House, house. My house.
I want to thank all of you. Remember, if there is something in your life that you think you cannot do, I want you to remember Emmanuel. I want you to remember anything of the Lord's speak. I want you to remember whatever you are facing, you have the power to do it. Because the challenges that you are dealing with in your life are the source of your power. They give you the strength to change everything. So hold that in your hearts, let it motivate you and lift you up and hold you accountable. Because as you gain power, you gain responsibility. And the more you embrace that, the power to shape the world will become more and more meaningful. Thank you.